Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me here at the lovely Sellersville Theater. There it is behind me. The very lonely, the very quiet Sellersville Theater. This is Soundbooth Sessions. This is our weekly live stream show where we feature a concert and conversation with an artist we love. My name is Dan. Thank you for joining me. It's lovely to have you here. I'm so excited to have with us Danny Burns, a wonderful songwriter. This is third time's the charm. We've had him scheduled a few times before, and for many reasons, fate was not on our side. But we are showing 2020 who's boss here tonight, and we've got him. He is joining us from Cancun, Mexico, continuing what has become the NAFTA of the Soundbooth Sessions weekend. Last night we had Ken Yates from Canada, and tonight we have Danny Burns in Mexico. Danny Burns, as I mentioned, is a wonderful songwriter. His album that's out right now is called North Country. It's been playing in my house on repeat for weeks now. It's wonderful, and if he's started to work on the next album. And started to drop singles. The most recent single that came out is called Many Moons Ago, and it features Sarah Jarosz singing and Jerry Douglas playing dobro. It's gorgeous. I'm sure we'll hear it and talk about it later. But for now, please pick the emoji that best describes your mood and click feverishly to welcome all the way from Cancun, Mexico, Danny Burns.
Hello. How are you?
We're doing great.
Great to be here with you virtually.
We did it, Danny. Take that, 2020.
It took many trips to Radio Shack to get us here. All right. I'm going to kick off a little tune. The title track of the last record, a little song called North Country.
Blackbird, dear blackbird, singing your ancient tone. Oh, blackbird, dear blackbird, singing your ancient tone. Oh, I'll be waiting. Oh, I'll be, silent, swift and free. Oh, I'll be waiting. Oh, I'll be, silent, swift and free in the North Country. Fall, the seasons pass, storm brewing in at last. Oh, I'll be waiting. Oh, I'll be, silent, swift and free. Oh, I'll be waiting. Oh, I'll be done free in the North Country. North Country.
Little North Country there.
Oh, hello, Danny Burns.
Hey Dan, how goes it?
It goes very well. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm good down here in Mexico, enjoying the good weather after a hell of a year. It's not even over yet, but we're almost there, right? We're almost.
Yeah, what's the weather like now? I know at least a week ago or so there was some threat of hurricane.
Yeah, the day after we arrived, the hurricanes came.
Aye.
And I've been in too many hurricanes. Actually, the name of the EP is titled Hurricane, and there's a song on here that I'll do a little later on that's called Hurricane.
That's the working title of the new record? Is it?
Working title of the new record is Hurricane.
Oh
yeah.
boy! Yikes! Well, tell me what is it you're doing down in Mexico? Why are you in Mexico? Where do you typically reside, and why are you in Mexico now?
Well, we were living in Nashville, and then we went home to Ireland at Christmas.
Okay.
And then there was some European dates. I had stuff booked for February and March. Went to do the O2 Arena in London.
Ooh.
That big country festival, country
Wow.
to country festival. So there was lots of good stuff. There was French, Belgian dates, and UK stuff. And then, of course, the pandemic happened, and that all got scrapped.
Right.
So we hung out in Ireland for a little bit longer than we had expected.
I see.
And so now we're basically between here and New Orleans. If that makes sense. So yeah.
So you're living in Mexico?
No, we're just visiting here until Christmas. Yeah,
I
just
see.
kind of riding out the pandemic,
Oh wow! And you're down there with your family?
Got the family, so we're hitting the beaches in the morning, and the beaches in the evening, and the pool in the midday.
That's not a bad way to spend
Yeah.
a pandemic. I heard children before. Is there two children?
We have 3 girls.
3 girls.
So yeah, there's a little baby that arrived this year, and then a
Congratulations.
baby girl. Thank you very much, Molly. And then there's Roisin and Kateri. So
And how old are they?
4 and 7.
4 and 7. Okay, we got about the same spread. I have a 3 and a 5-year-old girl. I don't know if you heard them while we were sound checking. They were in on a FaceTime call.
Okay, very good.
Well, okay. So you're quite a traveler. You're all over the place. When did you move from Ireland to the States?
I'm 20 years, maybe longer
20
ago.
years.
My family grew up in America. They had immigrated from Ireland, so I went to kindergarten and everything in America.
Oh, okay.
But then we went back when in our early teens, and then I came back then on my own.
Okay.
As a grown up.
And when you're in Ireland, where is home in Ireland?
Where we're from, Donegal, which is
Donegal.
the northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Well, I really enjoyed that opening tune, which is of course the title track off of your the album that's out now, the wonderful North Country. Now, was this your debut album? Is it really your first official release?
Of course, I would have been recording for years and doing demos, and there was stuff that I had released, and then I kind of, for whatever reason, changed my mind and pulled it back in, and so this would be the official thing that I was 100% confident about putting out there.
Sure.
So it took a long while to figure that out.
Well, and it certainly boasts an impressive cast of supporting characters. In addition to yourself and your incredible songs and your incredible songwriting, it features the talents of, I think we mentioned Jerry Douglas and Tim O'Brien, and Dan Tyminski's on there, or he's on the next one.
But he was on a song on the last one, but he's on the next single as well. Yeah.
It's an unbelievable cast of characters. I want to hear more about working with them and all that. But would you mind playing another song or two before we get into the weeds?
Sure. I'll do a little song here called Human Heart. This is a song we recorded with Tiff Merritt, great singer-songwriter from North Carolina. And this was the first collaboration of that album.
Okay.
I was doing a Everly Brothers tribute in City Winery in New York, and with Teddy Thompson, and I ran into Tiff. She was performing on that show as well, so I got chatting with her and said, "Can I send you this tune? I'm thinking of a duet." I'm obviously a big fan of her writing and singing.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, we tracked it. We tracked it a few different places, but Jeff Hill in Brooklyn recorded most of it for me, and and then we got it mixed and mastered in Nashville. But yeah, so here's a little tune called Human Heart.
Would you walk through the gates of hell, down a back road and back again? Heard my lonesome voice on that lost highway, ran that checkpoint anyway. Well, love will save you if you wanted to. You need her like she needs you. You know from the very first hour, there ain't no fool in this human heart. Well, no cheek for that Judas kiss, all that I am and all that exists. Dark is melting to the valley top. There ain't no fool in this human heart. Save you if you wanted to. You need her like she needs you. You know from the very first hour, there ain't no love will save you if you wanted to. You need her like she needs you. You know from the very first hour, there ain't no fool on this human heart. She needs you. You know from the very first hour, there ain't no love will save you if you wanted to. You need her like she needs you. You know from the very first hour, there ain't no fool in this human heart.
That's a good one.
Thank you. So that was a song that I think it was that tune that got me opening up for Steve Earle.
Oh boy!
So that definitely a big fan of Steve and all of his songs. But I got the chance to open for him twice. Last time I opened was the following night of the CD release of North Country, which we did the record release show in City Winery in DC. I think it was a Thursday, and then Steve was playing on the following night, Friday, and they asked would I open. So that was cool to do the 2 nights in the DC City Winery.
Oh, very
Obviously,
cool.
one was kind of full band, and then the opener I just did a solo gig, which was nice. Yeah.
Super. Take us into this next one, but tell us about the tuning you just put yourself in. Where were you and where did you head?
It's kind of a fake open G tuning I do when I'm in G shapes or E minor. So I'm usually in DAD, which is
okay.
D G A D.
Okay.
And then I'll bring the B string down to a G.
Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'll bring the B string down to a G. Okay. And then I'
in around there.
Right.
And then I'm kind of playing in my mind kind of G shapes. So that's a G and C and D and E minor. So if you were doing like a...
Yeah. Does that make it easier to do minor chords then? Because
if you're in again, if you're playing in with you're putting the G shape hat on, you know. So, but if I was in D mode, I'd tune that up to I'd tune the B back to an A.
Yes,
and then I would be playing D shapes, if that makes sense.
Okay, the guitar nerds just got all excited. I love it. Very good. The inside scoop.
Yeah.
Tricks of the trade. That's really nice. Is that a style that are you basing that off seeing somebody else do it, or is that something that you are developed? You know, of your own design. Well,
I didn't go fully into the open G thing. Usually, I don't do that. So this was like a compromise coming out of DADGAD. I'd never seen anybody do it this way. It's basically like if you were in DADGAD and you were playing songs that you had to kind of play G and E minors and C and D, and they were a little bit tricky to play.
Right.
There's a note missing. So what I would do, so then I kind of discovered that if you change that B to a G,
right,
it kind of, there's your open G, and then there's your C, and then your D.
Gnarly.
And then, you know, you can get an E minor that sounds very...
They add the little 9 in there.
And then, or you can just go... You know, you can go up, depending on where the capo is. So that's my two go-to. Well, I have three. Obviously three. I'll do standard tuning. I'll do this. There's a new song. There's a couple of new songs that are in this tuning.
Got
it. I can do a song. I'll do one of these new songs that's in this tuning. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, of course.
Or do you have questions?
No. Please, let's get some music before we get to more talking. But
okay. Well, this is an old song, but it's on the new.
New as in the upcoming record?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Hurricane.
Yes, I can do that one for you.
Oh no, I just mean the album that might possibly be called Hurricane.
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
This is a song called Golden, and this is a song that myself and Rob Stokes are working on currently.
Excellent.
So we'll give this a little go.
Well, you're singing out your heart on a lower Broadway bar, bending strings and breaking hearts with that swaggy guitar. Living on a dream, you swore would never die. 6 years on, now you still won't wave goodbye. You've been golden, you've been golden. Stage tonight, burning on me, those stage lights. After you're set, so you come back down, back pouring drinks in this guitar town. Poured me a shot with a rattle my bones. Later left me on the boulevard alone. You and golden, oh, you and golden, oh, you and golden on the stage tonight, burning on me.
since I sang that.
Oh,
that one.
That was nice. I got a text from my wife during that. Ooh, I like this song. So let me just share with you, everybody. The guitar geeks are geeking out over the tuning conversation. Bill Slade says, "Thanks for explaining that." He was trying to understand your chords as you were playing in those first few songs.
Nice one.
Let's see. My mom made me Faga likes how you said capo. Of course, we might say a capo, but I like capo. That sounds great. Mark F. Wong says, pure gold to hear this, like that song Golden. And Ray O'Connell, hearing Golden brings back great memories of the time you spent playing sessions in Chicago. So, your fans have turned out, Danny Burns. Would you say your mom? Oh, no, my mom. You were saying my mom.
Your mom,
yes,
yeah.
right.
Moms, yeah.
That's right. That was a lovely song. Is that written about anyone in particular?
That was a very Nashville song, just about hanging out Lower Broadway, hanging out in East Nashville. One of my first trips to Nashville back in 2006, just beating all the different singers and players and all the serious amount of talent that people you run into and how everybody's kind of just trying to make their way through it. And I was in a bar on Broadway, and I saw this girl come out from behind the bar. She was bartending, and she had the wireless mic, jumped up on stage, and I was just like, listening to someone crush,
Yeah.
And then she sang her song, and then she went right back in and back pouring drinks, So I suppose that's the Nashville dream song, if you will,
Yeah. You hear this, the same in like New York or something. If somebody comes out, that your waiter is probably like the most talented person you've ever met in your life, right?
Yeah. Same as that LA as well. Got the vibes. Yep.
Exactly. So let's see. Where should we go? There's I have so many. I have such a list of things to talk to you about. So let's talk about when you're writing a song like Golden. Okay, so you're down in Nashville. You have this experience. You have an idea. You want to go home and write about it. What's typically the first step you take? Do you have a lyric that comes first? Do you have a musical idea that comes first?
I think for how I started doing stuff, I kind of think of it in a like a movie. So I try to think of it like as a book or a movie. So I'll be walking, or I'll see something or hear something, and if it catches me, like Golden, right? So you're thinking of this, guy or girl up on a stage shredding, singing out their heart, couldn't give more than they're given, and then if you were to look at that with the stage light shining, and the person for that moment is golden, right?
Yes.
Okay. Everything else is, not important, and. So that was the idea for that. So then I knew immediately I was going to write this song called Golden. So then that's what I do. I pretty much focus on a title or something, something to really root it down. So then when I don't do that, then I flounder a little bit, get off point or whatever. So once I kind of commit to a strong idea,
right?
I'm looking at my set list here, Hurricane, Frontline, Golden, Down and Out, North Country. These are all, in my mind anyway, those are all, they can lead me down a path, writing, whatever.
So is that to say, is that generally how your creativity works, where that sounds like to me like you give yourself a parameter, like you need a box. Parameters, and then within that, that sort of enables your creativity.
Yeah, but then again, you can get so out of the box and go down. You can get so lost going further away down.
Right.
Into whether right across the board, whether the words, the melody, the production, you can find yourself. Trying to put together a reggae record, So it's I think the parameters are good to keep you kind of put your focus goggles on a little bit.
Yeah.
Get you into because otherwise you could just be just doing not like nonsense,
Sure.
just flat with no focus or, and that's cool too. I mean, if that's what you're trying to create, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I guess songwriting that I like, whether it's Townes or Guy Clark or Sean Camp or Steve Earle or Richard Thompson, Laurie McKenna, Mindy Smith, for me, Dan Tyminski, they're all the songs that I like by Tim O'Brien. Perfect. Yeah. They're very focused pieces of music, and there's stuff that I'm not drawn to. There's none of them. I'm drawn to all of those, but there's styles of writing that just don't float my boat,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I like the working man or woman's language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I try. I didn't get too far reading Yeats or any of that kind of stuff. Like I like people to say what they mean and to be able to understand it.
Yeah.
But there's some poetic stuff that I like too. But yeah.
Sure. When did songwriting come into your life? When did you start trying to to do it? When was your first attempt?
It was more being told to do it. I had a gig in New York City at a place called Rocky Sullivan's, and Chris Byrne was the owner, and he gave me a Tuesday night gig, and I was just doing covers. This is way back, and he was like, he was in many successful bands himself, and he was like, dude, if you want to keep on your gig, you're going to have to start singing your own songs. So that was it. So I was like, oh, okay, so I have to write songs. He's like, yeah, okay. Wow. So then that was that.
Well,
and then
yeah, go ahead.
And then he had an amazing jukebox, and then he was like, just like it was one of those old fashioned jukeboxes, and he was like, just go over that jukebox. There's stuff from Joe Strummer to Paul Brady to Shane MacGowan, Damien Dempsey, Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, Willie Nelson. It was all in there. So he was like, yeah, pick any of that. That's all good. Obviously, he put the jukebox together.
Right.
Bob Marley in there. There's everything. But yeah, so that was a quick little encouragement,
right.
And then I wrote a couple of songs, and then that was that, and started to have a bit of luck with it, and people were asking for them, and that was kind of a big shocker at the very beginning, when people would ask
right.
for you to sing a song,
well,
when they actually knew the name. Yeah.
See, I have no songwriting ability at this moment, but I'm trying to, sometimes in these conversations, try to get some of those practical steps to take in that first week when that guy said, go home and write some songs. What was the actual first action item on your to-do list? How did you even start to write something down to then be able to develop it?
I think at that time I was listening to a lot of stuff that was on the jukebox. So I was listening to a lot of Shane MacGowan and the Pogues, Joe Strummer, the Mescaleros. So I guess I just used that as a format, or okay. Okay, verse, chorus, verse, key, tempo. I guess I suppose I just took a song. I can't even remember what. Yeah, I don't know where I started. But
that's interesting.
Funny.
And then
funny.
So go. I'm sorry. Go.
So funny. At that time, that's back in 2000, maybe 1999, 2000.
Okay.
And then I remember writing in that period this song called Great Big Sea, which was on the North Country album, which I recorded with Tim O'Brien, and that to date is our most played song.
Is that right?
And that's been very good to us. It's been good to the label, and it's been good to us with radio play. It's probably our most played bluegrass radio tune, which is lovely, and also helps out financially, which is really good.
Right.
So that song was written definitely in that early period. So
That's great.
There you go.
Well, would you mind playing it? I mean,
sure. Yeah. I can do that one.
That is a good one. Enjoy that song. And then we're back to Dad Gad.
Back to Dad Gad up on the 5th. We're doing this in G.
For those of you playing along at home.
Confused by the water gates, untouched by the sun. I reckon this old damn thing was way a ton. Oh, the greatness of the wave, the courage of the sea. I felt oh so brave when I was just weak. Yeah, 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 in the great big sea. 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 Yo. Sometimes it's not good for that heart to forget. And now fisherman friend he once said, well, the man who sits in that lighthouse every night, waiting on his chance to turn on that great big light. Yeah, 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 in the great big sea. 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 Yo. Who came back oh innocent and free, and God bless their souls in the great big sea. Yeah, 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 in the great big sea. Yeah, yeah, in the great big sea. Yeah, yeah, in the great big sea. Yeah, yeah, in the great big sea.
Big C.
Love it. Keep it going there, Danny.
Okay.
Go right into another one.
I think we'll try this. Try this new. This is the next single.
Oh.
This was mastered yesterday.
It's as fresh as they come.
Fresh as they come. This is a song called Trouble, and we recorded this before the pandemic got going. Did stuff in Nashville and in South Carolina down at the Bonfire, the Pinecastle record label studios. It's another old song. This song's been around a long time in my set list. We recorded this, the kind of guts of it, and then did some remote recording. It features a beautifully talented, strong singer-songwriter lady by the name of Aubrey Sellers, who lives in Los Angeles, Mr. Dan Tominski, who lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and Jerry Douglas, who also lives in Nashville, Tennessee. And also
those are some big big names there, Danny.
They're great people. I have to say that, people asked me sometimes about how or why do you make the decisions or reach out to certain people. Not only are they fantastic artists, but they're also, again, great, kind, good people, and there's lots of great shredders that are not so nice, maybe, and so it's always nice to work with good, nice people. Also on this recording is Josh Day on drums.
Did you say Josh Dion?
Josh Day.
Josh Day, got it.
On drums, Byron House on bass. Oh my God, Byron House, what a bass player. And our good friend Eamon McLaughlin on fiddle. And our other great friend Matt Menifee on banjo and mando. There's a killer mandolin solo on the outro of the recording, which is great. Jerry's dobro solo in this just makes you laugh and smile. Eamon's fiddle playing is just. Eamon told me that this was his some of his favorite recording, which meant a lot to me and Rob. So yeah, mentioning all those great people, we'll just do a little acoustic rendition of this.
Actually, Danny, I just to surprise you, they're all here in the sound booth. They're going to come in and accompany you.
How will we fit them all into this one booth? What was I going to say?
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Dan is also playing guitar. A lovely intro on this, which is the first time that I've not played. Well, I'm playing guitar throughout, but he did this intro thing that we just couldn't let go, you know. So I will not be playing his part, but I'll try to do my own.
That's the new single, Trouble, by Danny Burns.
Acoustic version.
Oh, that's nice. I'm digging the graphic for this single here. Kind of the neon green and purple colors. Can you tell me a little bit about that graphic? Who made that?
That's a buddy of mine down in Brazil. He's a fantastic graphic artist. And so we just kind of been communicating. He's doing an art piece for each single. Oh, so he did Many Moons Ago, which is a beautiful artwork. He added that This Is Trouble. So when we were chatting about it, in my mind, obviously I was thinking this is a Louisiana song for some reason.
Oh, okay.
And having lived in New Orleans for a long time, and I love Louisiana, and so we were talking about kind of crocodiles, alligators, swamp vibe, and that's what he came up with. And then
it's very cool.
We're working along on the rest of the singles. So yeah, he's great.
And so we just were looking at the graphic also for Many Moons Ago, another very cool graphic there, and I mean, can we talk about that song too? The other single that's out from this upcoming record.
Yep.
So this song is incredible, and you have a accompanying music video that's great. But would you mind just telling us the backstory, the historical story behind that you wrote this song about?
Yeah, this is a kind of basically an Irish famine song. During the times of the Irish famine, mid-late 1840s.
Mm-hmm.
About there was the Choctaw sent aid to the Irish people,
the Native American Indian tribe, the Choctaw,
yep.
Right?
Yep, they sent support and aid to the Irish people, and there's a beautiful commemoration for that down in Cork, in Ireland, and then I started this when this was a kind of more of a school project when I was in school. So this was part of a project that I was doing when I was about 15 or 16, and then later it became a song so it was like an essay book report kind of thing. And it talks about the workhouses during the famine days, which were set up places, kind of government ran facilities where you forfeit your land and you'd go and, you'd work a day's and they'd give you some kind of housing and or if you want to call it housing, but a place to put your head in, a hot bowl of whatever they were cooking up. So obviously this was during the colonial days. So as I had that story, or it wasn't even much of a story, it was more, you were like a history lesson that we were doing in school. And then that I was reading about how the Choctaw had heard of the suffering and reached out to us, and that was the beginning. And then the relationship between the Irish and the Native American people kind of, in my mind, fascinated me, and it grew. I have a lot of friends who are Native American, and then there was other stories that I would have heard of, and kind of led to me finishing this song and then wanting to record it. There was and there's stuff that happened after it was kind of done, which is unique. Kind of, you mentioned that when we were talking yesterday,
yeah.
Which is kind of, I remember hearing Townes Van Zandt talking about Poncho and Lefty. He what was it? He claimed that he had heard the story on the news about Poncho and Lefty, and that but it was after the fact that he had written the song. So it's, don't know if that's 100% true or not, whatever. But anyway, so we were discussing this yesterday, and it was kind of, for instance, you had mentioned about during the pandemic, the COVID, and the Navajo reservation, people on the Navajo reservation receiving great aid, almost paying back from the Irish online raising funds that was in excess of I think €1 million, $1 million.
Right. Right. So back in the day, the Choctaw sent about $170. They pooled their resources and sent about $170 to help out with the Irish famine.
Yeah.
And now fast forward to modern times, the people of Ireland sent like $170 million to repay the favor.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
It's an incredible story.
Yeah, and there is, and there's many more stories of that bond between the indigenous people of Ireland, the Celts, the Gaels, and also the indigenous people of North America,
right?
United States and Canada.
Wow.
We were discussing about the Irish lacrosse team forfeited their place at the table at a competition this year. We were in Ireland 2 months ago. I was sitting in the car and I heard this. I think it was the captain of the Irish lacrosse team was talking with the manager of First Nations lacrosse team, and they were having issues. Of course, they invented the sport lacrosse.
Right.
It's their sport, and they were having issues with regards. I believe it to be passports, because some of them have Canadian passports, some of them have American passport. They want to use their own indigenous passport, which some countries accept, others don't.
Right.
So the Irish lacrosse team were like, no, these guys they belong at this competition. We need to forfeit our position, and that also made me very proud of the other little stories that connect us. But yeah,
it's amazing that these stories. All right, Danny, would you please play this wonderful song about this wonderful story about the beautiful relationship between the Native Americans and the Irish people? This is called Many Moons Ago. The single that's currently available on all of the digital media sources off of Danny's upcoming album.
But it started many moons ago, when the landlord came to evict us from our homes, and I missed him in the winter. The fields would not grow, but it was the workhouse. Oh, my children became to know. Sing a la 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 la. Oh la la la. We sing a la 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 la. Oh la la la. Well, my own is nine. Oh, my Patrick, he's 7. And me darling wife to heaven now she's gone. Well, I would not leave oh, I would defy sing la 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 la. Oh they came from across the waves. Indian warriors heard of their pain. Richard Bond shot all the Mohawk, the Fenian remain. Singing la 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 la. Oh, singing la 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 la. It's been a while since I've been singing, so bit rusty there. Sorry.
It's all right. We're in a pandemic here, quarantine. No, that is such a beautiful song. The narrative structure, the way you wrote that song is just so great. I mean, you set up the story in the first. You let us know what the stakes are, and then a war cry came from across the waves. Noble warriors heard our pain. Man. Whew. That is a very powerful song, very powerful image. Well written there, sir.
Thank you.
Now, another notable thing about this track is it feels like a bit of a departure from the North Country album is such an acoustic kind of bluegrass band configuration, and then this song sort of brings in these other ethereal kind of ambient sounds, the drums swelling up in the back. Is that sort of a sound something you're going to pursue going forward into this new record, or is it just kind of a one-off on that track?
Well, I think that track was calling for that, and
yeah.
So I always wanted to experiment and go a little bit further in with keeping all the grass and acoustic music, acoustic instruments, and keeping pristine performances. But usually, if we use a click track, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I'm not a fan of the click track, meaning, what you recorded to keep time.
Yeah.
So I asked a buddy of mine to make a more of a dum 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 dum, and play to that, and it just felt more human, and which it was, because the guy kind of put it together for me. And then we tracked it. We tracked Martin acoustic guitar, Sarah DeRosa's octave mandolin, Jeff Picker's upright bass, and then the vocals, and we did that with Shani Gandhi in Nashville. And then we had that, and then I sent it to a buddy of ours, Jeff Linsmere, and I said, do you want to check this out? Maybe he's in Keith Urban's band. He does everything from keyboard, all sorts of keyboard to percussion to. So he kind of built this. I want to say like almost a soundtrack within the song, or around the song, and I didn't ask him what he was going to do. I just said, hey, check this out and see. I gave him the story of it, and we had met years ago in LA when he was playing with a band called The Fray, and we just kept in touch, and he's in East Nashville now, a fantastic guy and musician. So he added live percussion. He added little hits and things, and then he added some synth and keys and stuff, and created this movie soundtrack thing. Yeah. And then that came back to us, and I thought it was just beautiful. As we were discussing yesterday, I thought it was just beautiful on its own, never mind with my my voice messing it up, and it was beautiful on its own. He texted me two way, like he texted me 2 files, like one was his stuff with us in the mix, and then one without. And I was like, I started listening to that thing.
Wow.
Like ambient music on its own.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So sent that off to Rob, our buddy Rob, who's hopefully watching. Rob is co-producing and mixing. Has mixed that is mixing the whole record, but had mixed that. So we went back and forth for a long time about how much of that programming synth did we want in, and would it, deter or get in the way of the acoustic performances, but it absolutely didn't.
No.
And I was for it being in there. And I discussed it with Sarah J, and she was digging it too, and she's obviously a master acoustic musician. So yeah, that was the thing. We were going for this, sometimes you can get restricted from, say, like, I just felt that track could be bigger. It could travel further if we added some unorthodox stuff to an acoustic grassy kind of thing.
Well, I mean, you said it. I think you hit the nail on the head with like the sort of the cinema scoring of it. It's a very cinematic story, and having that kind of drama supporting it is appropriate. It definitely lends itself to that kind of upswell. So, folks at home, go check out this tremendous single, and it's called "Many Moons Ago," and there's a beautiful music video to accompany it. Some very moving images. It's a very cool video.
That's our buddy Matt Kay over at the label put that video together.
It's very cool.
Matt's watching. Hey Matt. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on in the comments section. People are being very moved by this story. Bill Slade, whoa, cool. Did not know that story about the Choctaw. It is an incredible story. Amy Faga says, what a beautiful story. The Irish people are notoriously generous. Indeed. Let's see. So cool that Danny is telling this story, and such a great song. Simone Chaffet says, Henry says, hi, Uncle Danny. Sounds great. So good to see and hear you.
Hey, Simone. Hey, Henry.
And Andy Dinsmore is enjoying this show while sitting at a backyard fire. How nice. Very snazzy. All right. Danny, can we have some more music, please?
Sure. Let's change it up a wee bit here.
Yeah, what do you have for us?
Let's try this one. Steve Earle song.
Oh, gorgeous.
We've recorded this. This is a song called Mercenary Song. So let me see if I can pull this off. This is a song I've been working on with Steve and also Colin Farrell from Lunasa down there in Orlando. This will be coming out in the new year in January. So I'll just give it this has always been one of the favorite Steve Earle songs. I remember seeing it in a documentary, Heart-Worn Highway. He must have been 18 or 19 in that movie, performing it, sitting next to Guy Clark and Towns, if I recall. But I kind of had to figure out and find that song. So a little song called Mercenary Song.
Oh, me and Belden, we both come from Georgia and Hank down New Mexico. We're bound for Durango, knowing Pancho Villa, here he's paying in gold. I guess a man's got to do what he's best at, ain't found nothing better so far. And call mercenaries, men with no country, soldiers in search of war. And we're bound for the border, soldiers the peso down Mexico way. When this war is over, I might go back to Georgia and settle down quiet somewhere. Most likely pack up and head south for Chile. I hear there's trouble down there, and we're bound for the border, soldiers of fortune, fight for no country but die for good pay. Under the flag of the greenback dollar, or the peso down Mexico way. And we're bound for the border, soldiers of fortune, fight for no country but die for good pay. Under the flag of the greenback dollar, or the peso down Mexico way.
Ah, very nice. Steve Earle would like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. One of many of his great songs.
Yeah, he's incredible. While you're tuning, tell us about that guitar you got there. What kind of guitar are you playing?
This is a D28 Martin.
Beautiful.
I believe it's a 2017 maybe.
We got Martin guitar right up the street here, and it's we always like seeing Martins.
Yeah, fine instruments. I have two of these. I have a more vintage one that I use for different things. This is less boomy than the other one. So I think we did go try a couple of different guitars for this. I just thought this was a good one for tonight. We're using the DPA mic on it.
Yes, indeed.
And then we have the Telefunken here, condenser, and then of course Dan on the other side is making it hopefully sound pretty good.
You're pulling it together, right? Yeah. Certainly this is the snazziest gear, I have to say, that we've seen. Yeah, a DPA and a Telefunken and a Martin, and oh boy, it sounds good.
Well, it just took us 3 attempts to get this connected with you, so
well,
I appreciate your patience.
You know, it's amazing to me how non-intuitive all of this technology is to facilitate this. Doing what we're doing here, we're using all this incredible free technology that's available on the internet, but where you don't pay in money, you pay in troubleshooting time. And it took us a few times to sort of suss out what gear you had on your end and what gear we had on my end, and how did we make them play nice together. So it's working out all right. We're doing great. Yeah. So you want to do another one?
Sure. Yeah. I'll do another song. This is a new song called Frontline.
Okay.
And
let's do this.
This is going to be on the. This will be released in. We're either releasing it in January or first week of February. But this is another kind of, I suppose, a progressive grass acoustic project that kind of got expansive on its own, which I'm excited about. We're going back into that kind of open G thing here. All right, we'll see how this goes.
Go for it. Yeah.
All the searching, all this waiting, all the things that you leave behind. Oh, the sparkle, this holy shrine keeps me holding on every time. My heart is on the front line. Don't let it be the last time. Oh, my heart is on the front line. wedding gown. Glass of brandy, my chance of fancy to win your holy crown. Oh, my heart is on the front line. Don't let it be the last time. Oh, my heart is on the front line. Don't let it be the last time. I got a hardcore heart on a rebel soul. I'm calling you out now, I need you to know. Oh, my heart is on the front line. Don't let it be the last time. Oh, my heart is on the front line. Don't let it be the last time. Oh, my heart is on the front line. Don't let it be the last Oh, Frontline there.
Oof. Like that one. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank
You got another one loaded up?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. See where we are here. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll try to do this hurricane tune.
Oh, another new one.
Another new one.
Now, is this recorded yet?
This is pretty much done, but we'll need some little bits and pieces. But yeah, we're tracking Jerry Rowe on drums in Nashville for this, which he just crushed it. So we're excited about. Yeah, the track is pretty much coming together. I need to do some more stuff on it, and then there will also be some other voices that I won't mention yet, but yeah,
top secret.
Some other top secret stuff. Yeah. So yeah, let me just tune up a little bit here, and
well, I'll take a moment and I'll address the friends in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. You know, this is a special evening here with Danny Burns. I can see everybody in the comments section sending us your support. Thank you for the compliments on the show. Yes, the artwork is lovely. Thank you for all of your applause and your enthusiasm. Please take a moment, visit the links that will appear on your screen momentarily, that will help support this show. Please visit the links on the page for the PayPal for both Danny Burns and for Sellersville Theater. There's also a Venmo for Sellersville Theater, and of course your contributions go a long way to keeping this show on the air happening, and keep Danny Burns down there supported and making music. He's got a family, folks. He's got a family to feed. He's got music to make. He's got Jerry Douglas to pay. Oh, my goodness. Please send this man your money. All right, Danny. Take it away.
all right. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And Dan, thanks for helping me out.
Oh, you're very welcome.
This is
I haven't done any. I don't think I've done any virtual performances since like March. So it's
oh my goodness,
good. It's good to kind of come out of the darkness, I suppose. So yeah, Hurricane. This is a song called Hurricane. This is one. I don't do co-writing a lot, but this was a co-write.
Okay.
I've only done co-writing twice. I have a song that is coming to be recorded soon, which is a song I wrote with Sean Camp in Nashville, who's a fantastic singer, songwriter, musician, and then this one I wrote with Andrew Petroff and another gentleman. So this was so anyway, the idea about this is it's a hurricane. We arrived here in Mexico, and 2 days later there was a hurricane. I've been in a lot of hurricanes. We've been over the years. So, but also this is kind of another kind of Louisiana song for me in my mind, you know. So we're using the hurricane as I suppose a bit of a metaphor for you know, that hurricane. Obviously, hurricanes are not fun or good usually, but we're putting a different context on this. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Hurricane. Unless you got any questions. No, we're good. Yeah. Okay.
Go for
it. Okay. Hold on 1 second, I have to change this. Wrong key. I apologize.
Oh, that's all good. That's all right. We've had cats wander into frame before. This is a very human show here, Danny Burns. We love mistakes.
Yes, I was not thinking where my capo was there.
Was it too high or too low?
It was in B flat there, and I think I'm in A. It's, you see, the thing about some of these songs, we tracked them and recorded them. This pandemic has just messed us all up.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't played these songs, some of these songs, in probably a year.
Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of I didn't even get into like rehearsal mode for these new songs. You know,
yeah.
When you get a release coming up and you flush out what it's going to be like live. You know, and
sure.
You know, recording is one thing, and then doing it on stage is another thing.
Of course.
Key, tempo.
Well, and also not to mention arrangement. I mean, you have this. You have a huge band behind you on the record, and here you are, just, you know, me and you and a Martin.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that about the production. This is probably the most complicated production I've done myself and Rob. There's a key change in this song.
Okay.
There's an epic key change, which I am not prepared to do at the moment. I don't think.
You need your wife to come and move your capo up.
Well, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Right.
We were referencing a big drum fill and a key change in the breakdown into the outro chorus, if you will. So let me just do a verse and a chorus of this, and then we can move on to something that
okay.
A little bit more.
Sounds good.
A
teaser. A teaser trailer.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Hurricane teaser.
Teaser trailer.
Waves come crashing on in. Don't limit on me, need nothing. Sick and tired of this pouring rain. Now let me be your hurricane. I'll be your hurricane. You serve the rain. Hold me now and let this love retain. I'll be
Little teaser, little half verse, half chorus.
I dig it.
So
you can see.
We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, you can see how that would really build to a.
Yeah, there's a bridge in it that goes.
I'll be a hurricane, you southern rain. Oh, but now I'll let this love retain. I'll be a hurricane.
Something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very nice.
We'll be good. We'll be good to do that with the band when we're all back out gigging. Probably.
Yes. So listen, I want to thank you so much for being here and doing this. And I mean, this has been just an absolute exercise in tenacity to put this show together. So thank you for being here. It's so nice to sit and hear your music and get a chance to chat with you. I want to go back in time to when you were recording North Country with all of these amazing artists, and I'm just curious from you. Well, first of all, did you record live? Were you all in the studio together, tracking live?
Some stuff was, and some stuff wasn't.
Okay.
For instance, Great Big Sea was cut live. Everybody together, isolated.
Okay.
That was cut to without a click.
Okay.
I think that there's something about that cutting live, no click, human beings playing together.
Right.
It just something happens there that you can't really grid out,
Yeah. Well, because you become an organism and you can move together, right? And just to remind everybody, we're talking about a band consisting of, Jerry Douglas playing dobro, and Sam Bush pops in on mandolin, and Dan Tyminski and Tim O'Brien and Sarah Giroux singing. I mean, this is an unbelievable cast of characters on this album, and I'm imagining you. So you've put this team together. How are you feeling about giving them direction in guys? Here's what I want you to do on this song. Did you step into that role and have to take the reins at any point?
Technically, I was the producer on the last record,
right?
On North Country, I'm co-producing this new one with Rob.
Okay.
My philosophy is you pick the artist or the musician, and you know what they're going to do. You like what they do,
right.
So they do their thing.
Right.
I don't think there was an awful lot of direction given. I don't think I'm in a position to go in and tell Jerry or Sam how to do it, or Tim or Sarah. And I don't mean to be funny about that, but at the same time, I want their instinct to come out.
Well, right, of course, but of course you have the vision for the song. So you're telling me there wasn't one moment where you had to go in and be like, Jerry, buddy, that was great, but listen, could you do it with just a little more whatever?
No, when I was sitting with Tim O'Brien, we're doing a song, and Tim said, "Well, do you want to go Irish Celtic on this, or do you want to come more back Appalachian, West Virginia?" And I kind of said, "I want you to." In my mind, for this particular song that we were talking about recording, I was explaining that I wanted the Irish guy to land in West. Tim O'Brien's from Wheeling, West Virginia.
Okay.
And his grandparents came over at the turn of the century. So in my mind, I was thinking, if you were a fiddle player from Donegal or Galway or Cork or Belfast, and you happened to land in Wheeling, West Virginia at the turn of the century, you had your fiddle tunes, and you had your style of singing, your traditional style from the regional area where you're from in Ireland. And how would that evolve, into the next, Appalachian music or grass or, like Sean-nós, traditional Sean-nós singing is this kind of weaning of the notes. It's I hear it in bluegrass singing. I hear it in Delta blues also.
And you said Sean-nós?
Sean-nós, yeah, Sean-nós
I've
singing.
never heard that word. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, it's a Gaelic weaning. It sounds similar to maybe that Middle Eastern weaning of the notes. That thing.
Okay.
So I have to tell you that my battery is in the red here.
Oh no!
So I'm just
so we're at the end of the show here. Okay.
I think the end is near.
Got it. Okay. Well. Okay. So not to interrupt that beautiful last thought you were just sharing with us, but do you want to close with the tune?
Sure. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's do a quick little ditty out. We'll do a little song called "Look Into Her Eyes."
And if if it happens to shuts off, Danny, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for being here. This has been a tremendous show and a lovely chance to just sit and be in the same room with you, kind of.
Thank you, Dan. It's been a pleasure.
Right.
All right.
Take it away, quickly. A 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
Look into her eyes and you'll see. Is she here for love, boys? She here to lead. Look into her eyes and you'll see. Is she here for love, boys? She here to lead. Break your heart, oh, lead you broke. Strip club casinos, oh, whiskey and coke. A hurricane and a Dixie cup. Leave you wondering which way is up. Well, look into her eyes and you'll see. Is she here for love, boys? She here to lead. Look into her eyes and you'll see. Is she here for love, boys? She here to lead.
for listening.
Love
so
that
much.
track. Thank you, Danny. We made it. You're still here.
We made it.
Didn't crash and burn. Thank you so much for being here, Danny, and friends at home. Thank you so much. That is our show. Appreciate you being here so much. Let's see. Let me share with you real quick. North Country is the name of Danny's the album that's out now. We will all wait with bated breath for the release of the item that is possibly titled Hurricane, coming out at some point in the future. Thank you for being here, of course. Please make your way over to the links and support Danny Burns and support the show. Thank you to Alyson in the comments. Thank you to Kelly Anne for her production assistance. Thank you to Robertson Stokes for his technical consultations, and thank you to you for being here. We will see you next week, I hope. And that is our show. So, good night, everybody.